Hey folks, it's Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and in this video I'd like to talk about 22 rifle as a utility gun. Now when people mention utility guns, the first thing I think of is a gun as a tool that has a specific task which it is used for. Now utility guns will have maybe proficient at several of those. For example, our little carbine here, this is a Winchester 94-22 XTR. XTR means that it has, you know, the nicer finish and fancy wood, which makes for a very beautiful gun, but nonetheless it doesn't take away of any of its utility. This is a gun that will do very well for small game hunting, will do very well in a farm for pest control, if you have squirrels, if you have rodents, anything that you have to take care of, birds. This is a gun that will get that job done and do it very, very well. It's the kind of gun that lasts for generations, the heirloom type of thing, right? Very accurate. I mean, I haven't tested specifically with different ammunition, bench resting it, but I can tell you that at 50 yards, under 1-inch groups is more than adequate and possible for this gun. Basically, you have to understand that anything that you can actually see, you can hit with this Winchester 22. Very, very accurate, even with those iron sights. So really not that much more than you can ask for. Now, if you're looking at getting your first 22, probably I would suggest getting a semi-automatic, maybe a Ruger 1022, maybe a Marlin, something like that, especially because of that semi-auto capability that it has, in case of you having to use it for more of a, in a pinch, for a self-defense role, which is not the thing that it's intended for. But if that's all you have, I would rather have a semi-automatic than a lever action. Still, it's still a firearm. It's still firing around that, even though it's not the most powerful one that you could have, especially not ideal for home defense. The 22 kills people every single day. No mistake there whatsoever. Don't confuse it with an air gun, because it's definitely not. I mean, you can take down hogs with a 22. Right, a 22 is used to kill cattle every single day as well. Right, so with right placement of that round, it's amazing what you can do with one of these little guys. Now, even though the semi-automatic gun would be preferable, the very nice thing that it has, and again, going to that utility role, the nice thing the Winchester has is that this can shoot short, long, and long rifle, right? Any of those will reliably feed in this Winchester. And the magazine holds, I think it's like 15 rounds of 22 long rifle and almost 20 of the shorts, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it is a lot of rounds that you can put into this thing. So it would definitely not be my first option in terms of home defense gun by any means, right? Now, and if we're talking about buying your first gun, I've said this a million times and I'm going to be repeating it non-stop. Get yourself a Glock 9mm pistol. This is the first gun that you should own if you don't own any other gun. I've said that many times, but as you start building up your battery of firearms, a 22 long rifle carbine is definitely in your short list of guns to buy. So, if you are in a less than ideal situation, if maybe you ran out of ammunition, let's suppose that happens, you should have a good amount of it, right? A good stockpile of ammo for your guns. But if all you found is a box of your neighbor, an old lady widow has an old box of 22 shorts, if that's all you have, you're going to be running it in this gun. Not only is it capable of shooting shorts, because of the lever action mechanism, it's going to be ramming those into the chamber and firing them, right? And if one doesn't work, another, working the lever one more time, just ejects that one that didn't work, and you have another one in place. So even though it's not as fast as a semi-automatic, it is still fast enough. It's pretty fast as well. So because of all those things, it's a great gun to have. So yeah, guys, basically that would be it. I know these are not cheap in the United States. I know they cost quite a bit of money actually, and you know, for the kind of money that you would be paying for this, you could get yourself your Glock and your Marlin, and your Ruger 1022, and maybe have a little bit of money left besides that, right? If you purchase, if you make your purchases wisely, right? But if you do come across a good deal, if you have maybe one of these lying around, or your grandparent has one of these, or you just have the opportunity to get hold of one, man, basically because of those things, because of the ammunition it can be fed into it, how reliable it is, how accurate it is, how handy it is in general as a gun, very nice way to go if it's a possibility. If you have, you know, even thinking of different survival situations, let's suppose you have to put food on the table, you can kill small game all day long with this gun. You can shoot reliably your subsonics or your 22 shorts if you want to have something that does make a little bit less, or quite a lot less noise. I mean, it's down to air rifle terrain with the right load. And let's suppose you have to take this with you. You can unscrew that screw. It's not the takedown model, you know, maybe a little bit of a shorter. I have another gun that maybe would fit that role a little bit better, but still easy to disassemble and make much more compact than it already is. Take that screw off in just a few seconds. You just disassemble it and put it back together. And if you have to, you know, maybe get out of whatever it is that you are on foot, you can have lots of ammunition, you know. And you know, if you're thinking of utility gun, the first thing, at least personally, when people say utility gun, the first thing that comes to mind to me is a Mossberg 500 with 2 barrels, with that bird long barrel and the shorter one for slugs and home defense. That pretty much wraps anything that needs shooting. You can do it very nicely with a Mossberg 500 and those 2 barrels. Now, it's a little bit, it's quite more bulky, and especially ammunition is a lot heavier. Here I have 5 rounds of 12 gauge, right? 5 shells, 5 buckshot shells, 12 gauge. 50 rounds of 22, 100 rounds. Look at the volume, bulk, weight that we're talking about here. Which one would you choose? Which one would you take with you if weight was an issue? If you're worried about weight and you're mostly thinking about, you know, killing game so as to feed yourself or your family. If you have that as a concern, I mean, that makes it's pretty obvious which one you would be going for. 100 rounds of 22 over 5 rounds of 12 gauge all day long, and with a nice compact little carbine like that. Folks, it's gonna be it. Just a few thoughts of on the 22 lever action Winchester 94 22 XTR. Thumbs up if you like the video, share, subscribe, folks. See you on our next video. Have a great day.